All right, good afternoon and welcome to another video. Got a good one here for you. There's a lot to go over today. So, I'm gonna actually split um the LSU win into two videos. So I'll have a video going up this afternoon, this evening. Um, and then I'll have a video out tomorrow on our defense. So today I'm gonna go over our offense because I felt like with the offense you had more mistakes, more to improve on, and with the defense you had a lot of success. And I'll talk about the defense a little, just not as much as the offense. Uh, Being focused on the offense. So LSU wins it 31-16, and a scary game for most LSU fans. That was almost looked like a repeat, a little bit of the FSU game. Your offense couldn't get anything going in the first half. Your defense was on the field for most of the game, or most of the first half. Lots of missed blocks, slow tempo, just bad reads by Jane Daniels, and that's stuff to work on. The tempo is one of the main things that needs to be worked on, right? You have to be able to speed it up. And when they do, and even Brian Kelly says this, and Jane Daniels says this, when they speed up the tempo, you see a lot more success on the offense. It's a joke right now as far as the 2 minute offense, because when you play 2 minute offense, they seem to just drive downfield and score. And as good as that might be, you need to be able to do that no matter if it's 15 minutes on the clock in the first quarter or 15 minutes clock on the fourth quarter. You need to be able to score no matter what. You shouldn't have to score because you have to. You just need to be able to score. I hate seeing them have to score. So then that's when they get more risky with throws and push it and keep the tempo up. So as I said, the first half was very slow. Our defense did most of the work up front. It was 13-0 towards the end of the second quarter. Jaden just couldn't get into the offensive line. Looked a little sloppy in the first quarter. You had Mississippi State blitzing a lot, and that's something you need to be able to cover. Like, you need to be able to get the ball out as soon as possible. If you're Jaden Daniels, you find a receiver no matter what, and that's what we did in the little second half, and it worked. Just getting little throws to the running back in the back of the behind the line of scrimmage and little screens and stuff like that, and it worked. You need to be able to get the ball out fast, and that's what he finally started doing, and he had more success with that in the second half. So that tempo just needs to speed up. You saw it in 2019, fast tempo. Teams weren't able to make subs, or defense weren't able to make subs against LSU. It was just harder, and you had fast tempo, and you had Joe Burrow trusting receivers more than Jaden Daniels is known now, and we had much success. And it's hard to compare this team to 2019 because obviously this team is nowhere close. This team is talented, but nowhere close. Obviously, you're never gonna have another 2019. You're just not. But Jaden Daniels needs to have trust in receivers, right? When he had that trust in Neighbors, I mean, how about Neighbors though for keeping that game alive? I mean, just an insane performance for him. And you saw that kind of connection, that Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase connection between him and Neighbors. And I think he can expand that. And, you have Johnson Jr. that he likes as well. You had a couple little passes to Butte, not that much. But a lot of things I liked was the little, short screens to the running back, or the short little passes to the running back, or like a yard, and let your running back turn that yard into 10 yards, 15 yards, etc. right? You had some of that towards the end of the second half, and you had a lot of success with that. So I did like the passing to the running backs. That worked. But yeah, LSU O-line, not just the blocking, because they did improve on the blocking a lot. That much more improvement from the O-line as far as blocking. The false starts need to stop. That's just ridiculous. That can kill you, and it did sometimes where you had a false start, and then you were looking at second and long, and then third and long. So that needs to stop. Special teams mistakes, fielding the ball inside the 5 instead of letting it bounce out. That was stupid. Then you had that second half where Clayton fell on the ball instead of just letting it go away. Mississippi State almost got the ball back. It gets the game in closer. Stuff like that just doesn't need to happen. Kickoff. As a kicker, you need to be able to kick it in the back of the end zone and not kick it out of bounds. That's just ridiculous stuff, and that needs to be changed. That's just you should be able to keep the ball in the back of the end zone. When you're kicking it out of bounds, when you're a kicker in college, I understand it happens sometimes, but you are LSU, you're an SEC team, you should not be kicking it out of bounds, and you should not be, unless you want to kick it to the guy, you should be able to kick it at the back of the end zone, because you had that dangerous return towards the end of the game. Luckily, there was holding on the play. That didn't even matter, because the guy who held, it was an unnecessary hold, and that kind of cost Mississippi State. But so beginning of the first half, as far as offense, just sloppy. Jaden Daniels, as much as a lot of other commentators will tell you, oh, it's the O-line, Jaden Daniels, and it really is. In some way, it really is a lot of O-line's fault. But this game felt like it was a little bit more Jaden Daniels' fault in the beginning. Yes, you had some missed blocks that resulted in sacks, and that needs to be stopped. But you have to also give Mississippi State credit for being able to get in there, and they blitzed, and that's just Jaden Daniels being able to make a fast throw and getting the ball out. So he needs to be able to survey that field. I don't tell you how many times where he would just stare at one receiver and not get the ball out, and it's very frustrating. You need to be able to survey the field, find the guy you want, find the guy who's open, and make that throw and touchdown. But like I said, that defense kept us in the game. Thank God for our defense. We had that 2011 team, and it almost reminded me a little bit of that. We were honoring the 2011 team for the Mississippi State game, and that's what it looked like almost, that 2011 team. I was young then, but I do remember LSU being a predominantly defensive team because they could just not had a lot of trouble on offense. So 2-minute offense, if you could just put that mentality in your head, no matter how many minutes are on the clock, you'll be a better team. Faster tempo, just better decisions, better reads. You had one time when Jaden Daniels was making a read. I think it was Williams was in the backfield, and he went to, and this was close to the goal line too. I mean, this could have been a touchdown or at least a field goal. And Daniel goes to hand off, holds the ball for too long, and it ended up being a fumble. MSU gets the ball back, and that's crucial. You could have made a touchdown. You had momentum going your way, and then it shifts. So 2 minutes left in the second quarter. I'd turn over to one of my friends because I'm at the game. I say, "Watch, now we're gonna score," and we did because we 2-minute offense. So you have that touchdown, you have that faster tempo, you have, Jaden Daniels scrambling for a first down, or you have a pass to Neighbors. or run to Goodwin, and you drive downfield, and that drive just looked a lot better. Um, it was short throws, just a lot better. So that little slant to Jaray Jenkins for a touchdown, he fought in. Credit to him for fighting and pushing in for that touchdown. That was big. A lot better drive. Just looked a lot better. You had faster tempo. You had Jay Daniels was scrambling. I give him credit because even when the offensive line is bad, or if he just doesn't make the correct throw, sometimes he'll go and make up for it by running with the ball. But a lot of the time in this game, and especially in the first half and some in the second half, he was not making the throw, and then neither did he make up for it with his legs, which was very frustrating. So you have that TD before the end of the second half. Mississippi State gets the ball back with like 46 seconds left. You stop them. LSU gets the ball back. They kneel. Halftime. So first drive in the third quarter for LSU. You have a few passes to Neighbors, obviously. Neighbors is a crucial player, and I mean, it's good to have him there because you have that connection now between Neighbors and Jaden Daniels. You had a few passes to even Goodwin, which looked good. I like those little running back passes. Just let him go out in the flat or whatever, and passing it, he can pick up 10 yards, 8 yards, whatever. Just let him do his thing. Then there was a 7-8 yard pass to Butte, I think. So you drive downfield. That first drive of the third quarter. Nothing huge as far as passing or running the ball. Just a little first down here and there. You already set up in good field position. So Mason Taylor, that's when Mason Taylor got targeted twice in a row. And it was just a bad throw by Jane Daniels. It really was. He had a lot of those where it was just nowhere near his target or behind. And I'm not trying to hate on tight ends or anything, but I at least I could see throwing it over when Jaden Daniels is running when Mason Taylor's running like a little in route slant, whatever. I can see that. But that second play he threw to Mason Taylor, he threw it out of the behind the line of scrimmage. I don't know why you're throwing to the tight end in the backfield. I thought that was stupid anyway. I didn't like that play to begin with, but drops it. So that ended up resulting in a field goal. I think he missed Neighbors in the back of the end zone. So then, yeah. So that was okay. That was okay. Now I'm remembering. So he has Neighbors. So it was like Butte was coming in. I think it must have been a slant route. Butte hit a slant route or a post. I can't remember, but Butte was running across, and he was coming left, and you have behind him Neighbors in the back of the end zone coming across as well, wide open, absolutely no one on him. In Jane Daniels targets Butte, and the way the ball was thrown, it almost got to Neighbors, but he was targeting Butte, and Butte was covered, and it was just a bad throw. You have Neighbors open, and you have an easy touchdown. Instead, you take a field goal, which isn't terrible. You're still getting points, but it is frustrating that he missed a lot of wide open receivers. Jaden Daniels has got to scan the field. He's got to. So you have that. That's a field goal. It's then 16-10. So no, wait. So no. What's that? All right. No, wait, I'm missing something. Give me a sec. No. Yeah. So it was no. It was. I knew I was missing something. It was 13-10, right? I'm pretty. Yeah, it was 13-10. Um. Then Mississippi State drives downfield, kicks a field goal. And that's their last point of the game. They only had 3 points in the second half, which against that offense, I mean, LSU's defense just went off. And that defense was crazy. So you had that. Let's see. So also something I didn't mention, and I have it down in my notes. Earlier in the first half, there was a play where Jaden Daniels had unlimited time. He did have a QB spy on him, but he had Neighbors wide open, and he had Besh on a corner route wide open. Besh was no one on him, and had Neighbors also wide open, who could have caught the ball and fell forward to the first down and get sacked with literally unlimited time. That was frustrating. That was in the first half. All right, so resume. So now it's 16-10. LSU gets the ball back. Let's see. It's third quarter. You don't really get anything going. I'm trying to think. Sorry, I'm looking over. Seeing what's important and that I need to mention. You have the drive. John Emery has a catch, runs for a few yards. Then you throw it to Thomas, who gets a first down. That was when the DB ripped Thomas's undershirt and pulled that off. And I've already seen a few memes about that. Were actually pretty funny. Then on this play, first down. So this happened on EJ's side, so Emory Jones' side. You had the defensive end kind of fake like he was going. So EJ looked towards that defensive end as if he was going to block him. And then the linebacker comes flying in. EJ misses the linebacker. Boom, sack. That was just good play calling by Mississippi State. That was just, I mean, there's nothing, you can't really stop that. So 3rd and 16. Completes a pass to Mason Taylor. So then it's 4th and 4. Yeah, so it's 4th and 4. This is a bad miss by Jaden Daniels. And it's hard to roll left as a QB. It really is. A right-handed QB. But the ball was on the right hash, so you have more room on the left side of the field. So I see why they did roll left, but unless you're a really, really experienced QB and you can make those throws, which Jaden Daniels can, but he just missed them bad. He missed Neighbors bad. 4th and 4. You go for it on 4th down. You roll left. You miss Neighbors. Brian Kelly was not too happy about that. Just a bad pass. So they stop Mississippi State again. Is this on the? Okay. Okay, no. So LSU goes 3. They stop Mississippi State after the incomplete pass. And then they go 3-and-out again. They go 3-and-out. They punt. The returner drops the punt, and LSU gets it at the goal line. Change the game. Biggest play of the game. This is why we win the football game right here. That's lucky. That really is lucky. The way the punt came in, the returner was looking, and it just dropped faster than he thought at the end. So he tried to adjust to that and missed the adjustment. It hits him in the hands. The long snapper, I think it was Roy, who snapped the ball, actually got the fumble, which was pretty funny. So 1st and goal, false start. Brian Kelly's pissed about that. It was a stupid false start. It's 1st and goal, right? Don't jump. I mean, a lot of annoying. So it's 2nd and 14. So you're 14 yards from the goal. So 2nd 14. Goodwin runs it, gets you a few yards. That's now 3rd and goal. You're back in the red zone. So and then you have a TD run from Jaden Daniels. He broke a couple tackles. Good play. When he can use his legs like that, I don't mind if he misses a receiver, if he uses his legs and runs and gains yards. But sometimes he doesn't do that. So huge touchdown. Huge touchdown. That puts you to 17-16. And you're only up by 1 point, so you're still not comfortable. But Mississippi State gets the ball back. Another 3-and-out for them. Defense just incredible, unstoppable. I will say this because a lot, mostly in the second half. I don't know if there was any in the first half where the receiver, Will Rogers' receivers dropped it, but there was a lot of the time LSU did catch a break from just drop balls by Will Rogers' receivers. Really got lucky with that. So one thing I did see is Jaden Daniels missing Booty a lot. I'm gonna say Booty because he says Booty. He missed Booty a lot. Then he started connecting with Neighbors. John Emery had an 8-yard run. Then another first down to Neighbors. This was just like Neighbors all day on this second to last drive. So let's see. Neighbors first. It's a first down. So 1st and 10. This is when Brian Kelly got really angry. You had Butte coming in close to the left. Kind of going left out of bounds. Kind of headed towards the out of bounds of the sideline, and Jaden Daniels missed him bad, which was frustrating. But then he did the same thing to Lacey. He missed him Lacey bad again, and Brian Kelly goes on the phone. He's pissed. He says, "Hey, you need to hit him in his right shoulder." And he's just explaining to Daniels, and he was fired up and frustrated. So this play frustrated me. I do have my notes, by the way. I did good with that. Before this podcast and before I ate, I went and watched just our offense, and I'm gonna do the same thing tonight. I'm gonna go back and watch just our defense and break it down like that. But I watched just our offense. I've took some notes. I'm learning. So where are we? So you run a screen on 3rd and 10 behind the line of scrimmage. it was even a few yards behind the line of scrimmage. It was like, besides that, but like, to my point, why the hell are you running a screen on 3rd and 10? Like, you know you're not going to get the first down unless you get really lucky. And it's 3rd and 10. So you run a screen. You pick up 7 yards. It's 4th and 3. This is probably one of the most talked about plays of the whole entire game. Because this was the little go route to Neighbors. So it's 4th and 3. And you throw it deep to Neighbors. And thank God you get it. But it's a stupid decision. And he did this earlier in the game. And I think it was to Boutte. I can't remember who it was. But whoever it was, he missed him when he did it. And even the commentators say, you don't make that throw on a low percentage play. Like, it's 4th down. You don't do that. And that was the 4th down we missed. We got this 4th down to Neighbors. Jane Daniels said later in post game, he said, I knew Neighbors was going to catch that ball. I had total faith in him. And that right there is perfect. That's the words I like to see. I had faith in my receiver that he was going to catch it. That point right there. You need to have faith in your receivers. If this team is going to win more football games, you have to just throw it up and be like, shit, I hope my receiver catches this. And you have to put it in a good position, obviously, and have faith in your receivers. And that's what he did with Neighbors. I mean, just insane. And it made me that play made me happy because that's the first, like, and as an LSU fan, I'll say this. When you're seeing these short throws by Jane Daniels, you're like, well, this is kind of boring. Like, yeah, I know we're getting the first down, and I know we're going downfield, but this is kind of boring. So that pass to Neighbors made me have hope. I'm like, that's a good sign right there. If he throws it deep every now and then, that's what I like to see. That's where the entertainment comes from. And football's not all about entertainment, right? You're trying to win games, but that felt good. That pass to Neighbors just felt good. So he catches it. So it's 1st and goal. Williams, we haven't seen a lot of, but just powers his way through, stretches the ball across the plane. Risky, very risky, because if MSU defenders decides that punch it out, they get it, possibly a touchback. So that was risky of him to do that. But he still gets the touchdown. So thank God. So you're up by 2 scores. Let's see. So this was scary. So you're even though you're up by you're up by 1 score in a point. So even though you're up by 8 points, the game can still change. So this is when you have the MSU kick returner almost take it back. Forget whose name that was, but LSU's one of the defender, like one of the special teams guys. I can't remember his name. Freaking up, busted his ass to catch up to the MSU receiver and take him down. It was a holding call. I said in the beginning of the podcast that holding was stupid on MSU's part, unnecessary. It didn't need to happen. MSU goes 3 and out. They had a few dropped balls on that drive that they had. So we take a break as far as that. Then you have Clayton field a risky punt. I was livid. I was so effing mad when I saw him do that shit. You do not risk jumping on the ball and letting the MSU defender get it. You might have thought, oh no, never. I mean, Clayton had that all day. If you watch the replay on that ball, even when he was on the ground, he didn't have full possession of the ball right away. And MSU could have definitely gotten that ball and had a chance to score. Thank God they didn't. That shit was risky. I'm so glad we got the ball back. You, in that circumstance, you leave that ball alone. You just leave it alone. Let it bounce. Let it do whatever. So it's 1st and 10. Jaden Daniels had a good ball to Dre Jenkins. Jenkins just couldn't come up with it. It was perfectly placed. He just couldn't come up with it. So 2nd and 10, he had a 3-yard run from John Emery, I think. Was it Emery? I can't remember. Let's see. So then you have that was when a play after that. So Jaden Daniels gets a 1st down, and then you run it to Goodwin. He takes it to the house, 47-yard TD. That was the breaking point. That's, I mean, game over, right? Thank God, that felt so good. LSU did get a lot of lucky breaks throughout that game. I think we would have won the football game no matter what, but you still got a lot of lucky breaks that you thank God for, because I'm telling you, some of those drop passes, a lot of those holding, like that holding call, that game could have been turned around, and made it a lot more close than you would have wanted. So Goodwin softening up that D line the whole game, and he just finally punches through for a 47-yard TD, and that's when LSU fans know, okay, that's game over. MSU gets the ball back, throws an interception, we run the clock out, game over. If LSU wanted to, after that interception, they could have gotten another touchdown and won the game by 3 scores. Obviously, you're not going to do that. That's stupid. You want to just the clock out, win the game. But I think they could have gotten another touchdown. That's how on fire we were. And that's how you need to end the game. That felt so good. But like I said, you go and score, what was that, 3 touchdowns in a row? But you wait to do that till the end of the game. That's just stupid. You need to be on tempo, fast tempo. Brian Kelly finally, you saw him on the sideline, speed that shit up, and he finally started to do that towards the end of the game, and it felt good. It felt like your defense, LSU's defense showed you what this team could do if their offense can be on par with the defense and how the defense plays. Right? I've said it time and time again. You need to have like a little cushion. You can't have your defense doing everything and your offense doing it, down here. I've said it before. So it did feel good for our offense to bounce back into the second half, and you won the football game, and we played pretty offense at the end of the game, and Jaden Daniels just needs to make those throws. I mean, he can't miss Butte like he did a few times. He just can't miss those throws. Let's hope we can improve throughout this next week coming into New Mexico. We're gonna meet New Mexico. That's not much of a game, but it is a game that can help you improve for sure. Especially if we want to test things out. Brian Kelly said, I mean, this team's still a work in progress, right? There's still a lot to work on, and they will throughout the week. And it's good to have an easy game against New Mexico. Then you go play Auburn, at Auburn. I think we're going to be Auburn. Mississippi State's a better team than Auburn, and Auburn has no offense. They're not going to be able to do anything on us. They got pile drive by Penn State. If you watch that game, not a pretty game. So we're going to be at Auburn, and then So you're 2-1. You're 3-1 after New Mexico. Potentially 4-1, because I'm not gonna just go off that and say we're gonna beat Auburn. You still have to wait. I think we are. But for fun, let's just say we're 4-1 against Tennessee. Let's see what Tennessee's ranked right now. I haven't checked the rankings. I need to make sure. Let's see. 1 second. This says 8th, but is this the... I think this is according to ESPN. What the college football? So they're ranked 12th. To 12. So they're ranked 12th right now. I think that'll go up. I think they'll as they win games. Let's check Tennessee's schedule while we're at it. No. How about that freaking Saints game, dude? Oh my god. Saints looked like, I mean, Jameis Winston could not do anything. Looking a lot like, reminding me of LSU's offense, just bad blocking. Jameis Winston not making. So Tennessee plays Florida this Saturday. I think Tennessee's gonna win, go up in the rankings. And then they have a bye week, and then they play LSU. So they get a whole week that we don't do practice and prepare and film study for LSU. So whatever. And then the next week, so Tennessee has 2 hard games in a row. As if you're a Tennessee fan, whether you want to count LSU as hard as or not, that's up to you. I think you do count that game as a hard game. But then after that, they go and play Alabama. They play Alabama on the road too. No, Alabama at Tennessee. So if you're LSU and you beat Tennessee, you're getting ranked. I think if we beat Auburn, we're ranked low. As far as the college football rankings, not ESPN. You're ranked low. And then if you beat Tennessee, what do I want to say? I want to be careful here. I'd say top 15 if you beat Tennessee. You're more up there, especially if Tennessee goes to beat Alabama, which I don't think they will. But even if that's a close game, though, looks better on LSU. So, you got 2. I'm gonna watch New Mexico, obviously, and watch Auburn. But you got 2 kind of boring games coming up, and then in 2 weeks you got that Tennessee game, or 3 weeks. But you have that Tennessee game, and that's gonna be a good game. Tennessee Tiger Stadium. I'm pumped up. I really am. That's gonna be such a good game, and I hope we can close that out and get the W. That'd be huge for us to beat a ranked team. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Like I said, that this video was mainly focusing on offense. My video tomorrow will be focused on defense. I wanted to do offense first because there was a lot more mistakes / improvements for offense. A lot more to talk about than defense, but defense is freaking electric. I mean, come on. Harold Perkins, Ali Gay, Ojolari, Jay Ward, all having great, insane games. I mean, Baskerville, just textbook football. I mean, defense looks strong. And like I said, that shows you your defense doing that good shows you what you can do against other teams if your offense decides to catch up. Because Mississippi State is a very good offense. They're known for just being able to pass on you, and you didn't let that happen. So felt good. Let's see, where's total yards? I know we had more total yards than Mississippi State, but let me. Okay. Yeah, LSU had 210 yards passing, 260 yards running. Obviously, all that mainly in the So you had 416 yards total, and much of that was in the second half. So pretty damn good. You didn't have a lot going in the first half, so to bounce back like that, pretty good. Very exciting. Still much more improvement, obviously. But I'm excited to see where the. I was kind of hesitant, especially after the FSU loss. I was like, okay, this is going to be a long season, long bad season. But I still think we can improve, especially after beating Mississippi State. That showed you what LSU can do, and the talent they have. So in a game where you think Mississippi State's going to out yardage you, and they didn't. Mississippi State had 214 passing, 75 yards rushing. So you beat them on the ground. Let's see. All right, one sec. Checking something. Where is it at? All right, something popped up. So they beat you 200 they beat you by 4 yards passing. You kill them in rushing. A lot of that rushing was Jane Daniels. Jane Daniels had 93 yards. Goodwin 75. Emory 32 and Williams 7. So a lot of that from rushing. Mississippi State only had 75 rushing. But you still beat them in yards by a good margin. They only had 290 yards in all. So that's what you'd like to see. Because Mississippi State has killed us the past 2 years as far as passing. Obviously that year where they came in and threw a Canton Stadium and put 600 something yards. No shoot, woo, that was embarrassing. But overall, good game. Good game. Second half, and what made it a good game, was the second half. That second half redeemed the offense, in my opinion. And showed you a little bit of what they can do in a fast tempo, hurry up offense type of way, and do that more. Do that against good SEC opponents like Tennessee, like Alabama, and you will find success. I'm not saying that in November Alabama's going to come here and if we run fast tempo, we're going to beat them, because that's rare. I don't think we're going to beat Alabama. They're the better team. But I think we can give them a game if we play like we continue to play like we played in the second half. Allowing 3 points in the second half. Yes, you had that holding call and you had the drop passes, but that is also a part of football. So, it's exciting to see our offense come alive, but they need to come alive the whole game and not just the second half. So LSU wins it 31-16. Good game, good environment. My second game in the student section. I've definitely been like do I want to watch the game at home so I kind of take notes while I'm watching the game, watch it on TV. That way I can record the game and just be able to go back. But there's just something about being in Tiger Stadium that I just can't I can't miss, and I love it there. It's so electric, and it's just so much fun being on campus. So I love it there. Um, honestly, for the New Mexico game, I might stay till like halftime. It just depends. But watch the rest on TV because that game is going to be a blowout. And New Mexico's here, right? Yeah, I think they're here. So, I know I'm not. I've said this too. I'm not I'm still roughing the Saints gear, even though we lost. Yeah, New Mexico's here. Just want to make sure. But still ripping the Saints gear, even though we lost. But oh my God, that Saints game is just so freaking bad. Jameis Winston has got to work on a lot because those throws. I mean, he targeted Olave 5 or 6 times and missed them every single time. And then you have 200. You have 2 minutes and 47 seconds left on the clock in the fourth quarter. It's 20-10. You finally hit Olave, missed him a little short. Didn't overthrow him this time, which I almost wish he would have tried to. Because if he throws it a little farther on that play, Olave gets a touchdown with, let's say, 2 minutes and 40 seconds on the clock. It's 20-17, and you still have 2 timeouts. So you potentially stop Buccaneers again and forcing the punt. Yeah, you don't have that much time on the clock. But you potentially have time to get a field goal and tie the game, taking overtime. And Olave catches the ball, but fumbles it, and that was game over. And that was just a bad game from Winston. He's got a lot to work on. I like him. I like Olave, and I like how he targets Olave, but he needs to look around the field more and make those throws. But that was bad. That was bad. But so that's it for today. I felt like I did better today. I'm glad I took my notes. I'm glad I had my notes. I'm gonna start doing that more. I haven't been taking that many notes, but I've just been kind of doing raw reactions. But I went back earlier, watched the offensive plays over again, watched the game, but just the offense over again, and took some notes and definitely noticed a lot more by watching the game on my computer and going over it. You see, as far as watching the game, there's some stuff you miss when you're in the stadium, and there's some stuff you miss when you're on TV. So a lot of the stuff you miss on TV, open receivers. So when you're watching the game, and I've noticed this with commentators, because a lot of commentators, I'm just going to say a random name. Let's just say Billy Bob watches the game on TV. Then after the game, he commentates on the game from what he saw. But he didn't see what a lot of the fans, like what I see. So he might say, oh, well, it's just the offensive line, this and this, and Jaden Daniels had a run and got sacked or whatever. There's a result of that. But when you're in the stadium and you can see the whole field and you can see everything happening, a lot of the times you're not seeing that. You're seeing Jaden Daniels looking one way and not seeing an wide open receiver. And that just happened too many times. I think it gives you different perspective, very different perspective when you're in the game itself. But I don't know what was going on with the freaking play clock. I mean, that was just terrible. I mean, there was one time where it was 1st and 10 for 3 plays in a row because the operator couldn't get his stuff together. But I don't know. So that's it for today. that's what I think about the offense. If I had to have a couple takeaways from the offense, just in general, just in conclusion, faster tempo, Jane Daniels scanning the field. He has to scan the field and find the right read. O-line needs to improve on blocking. Even obviously they've improved, and they did improve a lot this game of blocking. They really did. They gave Jane Daniels time, but sometimes that was just Daniels' fault without not getting the ball out. And so you have that. And one thing I did see a lot was when we blocked 7, Jane Daniels felt a lot more comfortable and was able to make the pass. So maybe we'll do that more. So faster tempo, Jaden Daniels scanning the field, O-line, stupid mistakes that they don't need to be making, just as false starts. Blocking better in general. We need to make smarter decisions on special teams too. I mean, taking a ball inside the 5 as they did on punt return instead of letting it bounce out, that was dumb. Jumping on the ball when you don't have to and risking turning it over, that was dumb. So just being smart, making better decision. And that were my few takeaways from the game. So even though there was a lot to rant about, and it being a day after, I feel a little better. After the game, I felt like I wanted to go on a rant no matter what. But now that I watched the game one more time, I feel a little bit better about it. I have faith in Jaden Daniels. As I said, he will get better, and he has. People who don't think he has, you're just stupid. I'm sorry. He's gotten so much better. He's gonna find in his rhythm, especially when we start picking up that tempo. This team can be good. Next year they can be great. I love it. It's so no matter what kind of football LSU or the Saints playing, I'm just so glad it's football season again. It feels amazing. I love it. Remember to like the video, share, subscribe. As I've said, I'm new to this. I'm still getting better at it every day. Taking my notes, watching games over again, doing my own types of field study, just getting to know the game better. To like, share, kind of get the word out. I'm just trying to grow. I love doing this. I really do. I love talking football. And I hope, I really hope in the future, I can this was one thing I was thinking before I end the podcast. One thing I hope I can get players on. I hope to have my own. I really want because right now I'm in my room, as you can tell, but I hope to have my own space I can get one day a little, if I move into a house, whatever, when I move out, I have a little studio room or something. I was thinking about that earlier and being able to have guests on and stuff. But I think what I might do is see if I can reach out to some players and have a guest on, or have one of my friends talk with me on the podcast, because I think that would be a lot more entertaining. Because when I talk football with other people, it usually does get entertaining. So again, like, subscribe, share, and go Tigers.